welcome to the green screen tutorial. I'm Bethany from the Production Academy on Blueline Learning, and this is the first of a few tutorials that we are making on content. So for this I am editing the green screen. You can check out this video here in the corner. That's us setting the green screen up in our studio. This is the same green screen, but it's in a different area of our studio now. It's allowed us to do a lot better lighting. Here's our footage that was filmed for one of our modules, and it's just standard, presenting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a part of our footage just to show you what we do. It's only going to be a very short bit. And then normally I would take the whole thing of sound, but for the purposes of editing and not hearing it in the background, I'm just going to drag the video. So we're just going to take this little part here and I'm going to put it on the second row on the timeline. I'm just going to change the sequence settings to match it. We are filming in 4K, so I want the sequence settings to be in 4K. So what we're going to do now we have our footage in our timeline is we're going to go to the effects panel, and this is where we can find any effect we want that Adobe Premiere Pro has. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the search bar and I'm going to search for Ultra Key. The Ultra Key is my preferred method of green screening, but there are a few more that will do the same job. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the Ultra Key and we're going to drag it over onto our clip. And then what I'm going to do is go back to the editing area and I'm going to go onto Effects Controls. So we want to go down here to the Ultra Key settings, and I'm going to get to the eyedrop tool and I'm going to select the background. And as you can see, that gets rid of it for us. But you'll not want to rely on this to tell you how the footage is actually going to end up. What you want to do is get a background. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to New Item and I'm going to go to Color Matte, OK, and I'm just going to choose a blue colour. That one will do nicely, and then we're going to change the name to background. Press OK, and that will bring us a color matte. So the reason I mentioned that you want to put your footage on the second row of the timeline is because you want to put whatever background it is underneath that clip. So we're going to take our background and drag it under, and as you can see, once we've made it the right length for the clip, you can see creases in the footage. Sometimes you'll be able to see like grainy elements. It all depends on kind of how you've lit the green screen, and sometimes it even depends on what part of the video you're at. So I would keep checking at random intervals throughout your video just to make sure. Because when I've edited this clip before, sometimes there is a lot of graininess down here, but on this particular part of the clip it's not there. But if you are getting graininess on some of these creases, one way to kind of fix that is we want to go to our settings, which are these bits here. I'm going to go to default and I'm going to change it from default to aggressive. Now that automatically brings out a lot of the creases, however we still have this one here. So what we're going to do is go to matte cleanup, and firstly I suggest kind of messing around with the choke slightly. You don't want to go too much because it can bring it in on your subject a lot. So I want to just go in a tiny little bit. But as you can see, we still have this crease here. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm now going to go onto the contrast and I'm going to just pull that forwards. And as you can see, that crease is now disappearing. Apart from there is one last little bit on there, but you can just kind of mess with any of these settings. As you can see with the midpoint, if it's all the way down, you can see more of the crease, but as I'm turning it up, it's gotten rid of the part that was still there. So now it's a really nice and clean green screen, and you can play it and you can see that it looks like he's meant to be on that background. You don't have to use backgrounds like this. You can put people in whatever they want, but I'm going to just use one of the backgrounds that I've made. So this module would be for a cybercrime training video. So I've got this kind of computery looking background that I made on After Effects, and I'm just going to drag that in there. So now as you can see, he's on this screen, and you can do that with any background that you want, depending on the situation. You can put pictures, you can put a brick wall, just a standard colour. You could put him in space if you wanted to. Another few I guess, housekeeping elements, I would say, for this is at the moment he's not actually central on our green screen. So what I would do for that is I'm going to turn on the safe margins, and as you can see there is a line top and bottom. So then I'm going to get my guidelines, and I have this line here, and I'm going to drag it to those center lines until it's lined up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the footage of Steve, and I'm going to then just position him along a little bit to make him more central. I'm going to basically line this up with his nose and the buttons on his shirt. And then you turn those off, and now he is central. And as you can see, he's talking nicely in front of his computery background. So this is the final result. I hope that this helped you to learn how to edit a green screen, and I hope that it was informative for you. If you have any other suggestions of any tutorials that you might like to see, then let us know in the comments below. And thank you for watching.